Collins McNicholas, who survey annually professionals who move into the county, and find about 95% satisfaction amongst the professional people who move into the area to take up employment.
When people would look at the population of Leitrim, they would say it's a small county. Within 50 kilometres you have a population of over 300,000 people. That's a substantial population.
My name's Gail Quinn and I'm originally from Belfast. I studied horticulture in Dublin and moved to Leitrim not long after college in 1991. Myself and my husband moved here, so we're here 16 years now.
Where we lived in Lucan originally, within a 2-year period, it turned from more or less a country area to a very built-up area.
We decided that we wanted to move, we wanted it to be rural and stay that way. We wanted a little bit of land, which we have, we're on an acre. We also wanted to be in this area of Ireland because it's an area we've both liked very much for a long time and had visited before. And it was really just a roll of the dice that we came across this house one Sunday.
I'm from Ballinloughlin, County Roscommon, and I'm in Carrick-on-Shannon now the last 2.5 years. I moved from Limerick, where I had studied computer systems in the university there, and I was looking for work in Limerick and I couldn't get work, and I discovered the job up here.
I'm originally from Bristol in the southwest of England. I was coming over here on holiday quite a few times in the year, and I just really fell in love with the place, and I guess just thought maybe it's time for a complete life change. The actual cottage and outbuildings sit on 1 acre, and then the other side of the road we've got 2 acres, which has got a river running through it, a forest at one end and a big plot of land at the other end.
We set up in Carrick-on-Shannon because I'm actually from the town, just outside the town of Carrick-on-Shannon originally. My wife is also from here, so that was one of the reasons for relocating back to her initially. Given that you get all the aspects of life that you want, the schools, churches, shops, cinemas, all that is there, yet at half the price effectively.
I was in London for 5 years, although I liked the kind of all the entertainment side and the social life in London. It was very, quite exciting for a time. I found it quite wearing, the noise, the rush and so on. So it was quite a relief to move over to Ireland and to come back to a more, a rural environment. So it wasn't difficult for me to adjust at all.
Okay, Connor, give it a go. What's the name of the piece you want to write? I'm a music teacher. Classical guitar is my discipline. Fundamentally, I would prepare students for junior cert exams, leading cert exams in their music. It's never been a case of wanting for business, so the same people in this county look for the same interests as people in any other county. It's just perhaps they didn't have the service before, but certainly the numbers are there.
Well, I'm actually a handbag designer. I'm a fashion designer by training originally. And I chose to specialise in handbag design. Leitrim is renowned for being full of creative people. When I moved to Leitrim and found out there was so much support and encouragement, that's really what made it sort of take off. So I design and actually manufacture handbags using Irish, English and Scottish wool. And all the work is done here in the studio behind me, cut, made, finished. And we sell to, I think it's around 140 shops now.
I've done the same thing since I was 18, so I'm 17 years a hotel manager. Moved here and had no trouble getting work whatsoever in good roles in local hotels.
There's, I suppose, 3 main aspects to the business. We have the garden centre. The second strand of the business would be the flowers, cut flowers. And now the most recent thing is the development of the space over our shop into the Solace Art Gallery.
Emerald Star is a cruising company with 3 locations, one in Carrick-on-Shannon, County Leitrim. We have a sales centre with over 20 people, all very different roles. We have a sales team of 5 people who are very skilled in what they do. We also have a customer services team, an accounting team, very much a skilled workforce in the whole workshop area where we have carpenters, mechanics, and people who deal mainly with fiberglass on all of our boats.
We didn't have financial services in Leitrim until relatively recently on the scale that MB&A have here in Carrick-on-Shannon. The healthcare and pharmaceutical industry has built up very satisfactorily. And then we have the manufacturing industries like the Connacht Golds or the Arigna Fuels. So we've got a very interesting mix.
Yeah, I was very surprised to find a job up here in Carrick-on-Shannon, because I always had that impression that I would have to go to Dublin or Galway, Cork, Sligo, one of the bigger cities or towns. But I was delighted that I found something so close.
Traffic on all the major commuter routes out of Dublin was very heavy. Traffic has ground to a halt in the Glanmire Road. Very heavy on the Headford and Tune roads, largely to avoid the M4 if at all possible.
I did work in Dublin, and I used to spend probably about 35-45 minutes getting to work every morning, and that's living within probably about 10 miles of where I worked. Where I work here, I take about 7 minutes to get to work, and I pass one set of pedestrian traffic lights every morning, which are very rarely against me.
My commute to work is from that door there to that door there, past the cows and the sheep. It couldn't be more pleasant, and it means I can have a flexible working life.
You've got a lot of things going on in the area that you can do. We've got staff out here that windsurf, that water ski, that go horse riding, that play soccer.
It's buzzing, it's absolutely hopping with the activity, especially during the summer months, but all throughout the year. There's so much to do. It has everything. I mean, from nightlife to outdoor activities to drama and theatre, if you're into that. Gigs, big artists that come here, famous comedians, Carl Spain, for example, and Neil Delamere. They'll be 2 of the regular visitors to the dock. You can rent a boat and go up the river and stop off at bars and restaurants up the river, which is absolutely everything that you could want.
Does this gentleman have an appointment?
Run over to him.
Do you have an appointment?
I saw an ad in the paper for an audition for a play. Stuck in it now, and it's addictive. Once you get on stage, you can't stop going back.
There's quite a good art scene, theatre and so on. There's even in Manor Hamilton, there's a mobile cinema where you can see really excellent international films and so on.
We have friends that are from Hungary, from Germany, from England, from the north of Ireland. It's quite mixed, which I think makes for an interesting place to live.
And we also found that when our son Julian was born 3.5 years ago, that we got to know an awful lot of people around that time as well, because as a couple you meet people if you're out for a drink or anything like that, but once a new child is born into the parish, it's a really big deal. And it was a great way to get to know people, and it still is.
It is a lovely environment for them to grow up in. There's more countryside around, there's animals, they love that. We're near the sea here as well. Loch Melvin is just down the road from us here, from the Organic Centre, and my girls just love swimming in there and kayaking and so on. There's all these kind of things around you all the time. I think children living in cities are far more constrained, you know, they have very little freedom. And I think in an environment like this, you can relax more.
The ability to stop, just stop in your tracks for a few minutes and a brief hello, a 2-minute conversation. It certainly made a difference to my day.
I have a bit of a dilemma really, because I'm not sure if I want to really encourage lots of more people to come and live here, because part of the reason it is so fantastic is that it's nice and quiet and we have lots of space. But on the other hand, I do feel quite passionately that it is a fantastic county with a lot to offer.
Absolutely no regrets. Quality of life, quality of property, price of property, social scene.
I love listening to the radio in the mornings on the way in, and they're talking about the traffic jams on the various roads heading into the city. I live 4 miles from work and it takes me about 8 minutes from my door until I walk in the door of the shop.
What can I do? Encourage people to come, but maybe not too many.